The conflict in Ukraine entered a new phase with the use of long-range missiles. These advanced weapons have significantly altered the dynamics on the battlefield, providing Ukraine with a new strategic advantage. These missiles, supplied by the United States, allowed Ukraine to strike targets within Russia. The decision to provide such powerful weaponry was not taken lightly, reflecting a deepening commitment by the U.S. to support Ukraine in its struggle. This marked a significant escalation in the conflict. The impact of these strikes has been devastating, causing widespread destruction and further complicating the humanitarian crisis in the region. Russia had previously warned against such actions. The Kremlin has repeatedly stated that any attack on Russian territory would be met with severe consequences, raising the stakes in this already volatile situation. They viewed any attack on Russian soil as a major provocation. This perspective has fueled a strong response from the Russian military, which has been mobilizing additional forces and resources to counter the perceived threat. The use of these missiles has heightened fears of a wider war. Civilians in both Ukraine and Russia are now living under the constant threat of missile strikes, leading to mass evacuations and a growing sense of insecurity. It has also led to increased tensions between Russia and the West. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing, but the situation remains precarious, with both sides preparing for the possibility of further escalation. The international community watches closely, hoping for a resolution but bracing for the worst. Russia responded to the changing situation by updating its nuclear doctrine. This doctrine outlines the circumstances under which Russia might use nuclear weapons. It includes scenarios like a conventional attack supported by a nuclear power. The updated doctrine is widely seen as a direct response to the situation in Ukraine. It has raised concerns about the potential for miscalculation and escalation. The conflict in Ukraine extends beyond conventional warfare. Russia has a history of using cyber attacks and sabotage. These tactics could be used against Ukraine or its allies. Cyber attacks could target critical infrastructure. Sabotage could disrupt supply lines or communication networks. These actions are difficult to attribute directly to a perpetrator. This makes them a potent tool in hybrid warfare. Section 4. The Red Line, NATO troops in Ukraine. The presence of NATO troops in Ukraine has been a contentious issue, drawing significant international attention and concern. The deployment of NATO troops to Ukraine is a significant red line for Russia. This move is seen as a direct challenge to Russian influence in the region, and it has heightened tensions between NATO and Russia. Russia views NATO as a threat. The expansion of NATO's presence so close to its borders is perceived as a strategic encirclement, which Russia is determined to counteract. They have warned against any NATO expansion eastward. Russian officials have repeatedly stated that any further encroachment by NATO into Eastern Europe, particularly into Ukraine, would be met with strong resistance. The presence of NATO troops in Ukraine would be seen as a direct provocation. This could potentially destabilize the already fragile situation in the region, leading to increased military confrontations. It could lead to a rapid and dangerous escalation of the conflict. The risk of miscalculation or unintended incidents could spark a larger, more destructive war, drawing in multiple countries and causing widespread devastation. This is why NATO has been cautious about providing direct military support to Ukraine. Instead, NATO has focused on other forms of assistance, such as training Ukrainian forces, providing military equipment, and offering strategic advice to help Ukraine defend itself without crossing the red line that could provoke a full-scale conflict with Russia. Additionally, NATO and its member countries have been involved in humanitarian efforts to support the Ukrainian population affected by the ongoing conflict. These efforts include providing medical aid, rebuilding infrastructure, and supporting displaced communities. The international community continues to seek a diplomatic resolution to the crisis. Peace talks and negotiations are ongoing, with the hope of finding a solution that ensures the sovereignty and security of Ukraine while addressing the security concerns of Russia. The situation remains complex and delicate, requiring careful navigation to avoid further escalation. The hope is that through continued dialogue and cooperation, a peaceful resolution can be achieved, ensuring stability and security for all parties involved. Section 5. Global stability at stake, the need for diplomacy. The conflict in Ukraine has implications for global stability. It has highlighted the risk of conflict between nuclear-armed states, The situation underscores the importance of diplomacy and dialogue. International cooperation is crucial to prevent further escalation. A peaceful resolution is the only way to ensure long-term security and stability. Section 6. The Information War. Truth as a casualty. The conflict in Ukraine is also an information war. Both sides use propaganda and disinformation. This aims to influence public opinion and sow discord. Social media has become a battleground for narratives. It is increasingly difficult to discern truth from falsehood. This information war has real-world consequences. It erodes trust and fuels polarization. Section 7. The Long Shadow of World War III. The echoes of past conflicts still resonate today, casting a long and ominous shadow over our present and future. The talk of World War III is a stark reminder of the stakes involved. The mere mention of such a conflict sends shivers down the spine, evoking images of widespread devastation and unimaginable human suffering. While the possibility of a global conflict remains remote, the risks are real. Experts and analysts continuously monitor geopolitical tensions, understanding that even a small spark could ignite a catastrophic chain of events. The situation in Ukraine demonstrates how quickly tensions can escalate. What began as a regional dispute has drawn in global powers, each with their own interests and agendas, complicating the path to peace. It highlights the importance of responsible leadership and clear communication. Diplomatic efforts and negotiations are crucial in de-escalating conflicts and finding peaceful resolutions to complex issues. The world must work together to prevent a repeat of the horrors of the past. International cooperation, mutual understanding, and a commitment to peace are essential in ensuring that the shadow of World War III remains just that, a shadow never to become a reality. The lessons from history are clear. The aftermath of World War II showed us the immense cost of global conflict, not just in terms of lives lost, but also in the long-term impact on societies and economies. We owe it to future generations to strive for a world where peace prevails, a world where children can grow up without the fear of war, and where diverse communities can coexist harmoniously. Instead of investing in weapons and warfare, humanity should focus on progress and innovation. Technological advancements and space exploration offer a glimpse of what we can achieve when we work together for the common good. The long shadow of World War III serves as a powerful reminder of our shared responsibility. Let us choose the path of peace, diplomacy, and cooperation, ensuring a brighter future for all.